EKG features of the ventricular tachycardia. Why does the QRS complex? More likely it is to be ventricular tachycardia. A QRS of more than 160 milliseconds suggests ventricular tachycardia, but it may also occur with pre-existent bundle branch block and supraventricular tachycardia with aberrancy and people using the drug that slow the interventricular speed. So the EKG features of V.Tach are that there is AV dissociation. Number 2, P wave, absent or difficult to recognize. But P wave may be absent in junctional rhythm where the QRS is narrow and the rate is slow and the rhythm is regular. And also when in third degree heart block, P wave is independent of QRS complexes with wide QRS complexes if block is distal to bundle of his. Number 3, when the sinus rhythm with wide QRS becomes narrow with a tachycardia. Number 4, a Q wave in chest lead V6 favors the ventricular origin of an arrhythmia. And the other leads in which Q wave form it can also be seen are long lead 2, 3 and AVF that indicates V.Tach. And these Q waveforms seen are QS pattern, QR, Q more than R, or QRS where Q is more than S. Now V.Tach features in precordial lead. Number 1, absence of RS complexes in any precordial lead indicate V.Tach. Number 2, there is predominantly negative QRS complexes. Number 3, broad R wave of more than 30 milliseconds. Number 4, a notch or slurring on the descending limb of a negative onset. And number 5, the longest R to S nadir is more than 100 milliseconds in any precordial lead. And number 6, slurred S wave. Now V.Tach in bundle branch block. The word marrow describes the right bundle branch block where there is a M notch in V1 and a W-shaped notch in lead V6, whereas word William describes the left bundle branch block in which lead V1 shows a W notch in lead V1 and an M notch in lead V6. So what happens in the bundle branch block with ventricular tachycardia? There are either positive or negative QRS complexes in different precordial lead. That strongly suggests ventricular tachycardia. So what happens in V.Tach with left bundle branch block? In left bundle branch block with V.Tach, QRS is predominantly negative in precordial lead and it's more than 160 milliseconds. The R wave is more than 40 milliseconds in lead 1 and 2 and there is a Q wave in lead V6, chest lead 6. What happened in V.Tach with right bundle branch block? In V.Tach with right bundle branch block, QRS is predominantly positive in precordial leads with monophasic or biphasic complexes in lead V1 and QS pattern in lead V6. So in lead 1 monophasic or biphasic complexes and V6 QS complex. Number 2, the QRS complex is more than 140 milliseconds, whereas it was more than 160 milliseconds in left bundle branch block with V.Tach. The onset of R wave to nadir of S wave is more than 100 milliseconds and there is a dominant S wave in lead V6. Now we will discuss the differences in the features of ventricular tachycardia with the supraventricular tachycardia in the left bundle branch block and the right bundle branch block. So first we will discuss the differences in the left bundle branch block and we will see these differences in the chest leads V1 and V6. In supraventricular tachycardia, in the left bundle branch block, we have a small R, and in ventricular tachycardia, we have a broad R of more than 0.04 seconds. See here in left bundle branch block in SVT, there is a small R, and here it's a R of more than 0.04 seconds. And there is a rapid descent in supraventricular tachycardia and is a slow descent in ventricular tachycardia. And there is a notch on the downstroke or downslope of the S wave. And the time duration from the R wave to the nadir of the S is more than 0.07 seconds or 70 milliseconds. And in lead V6 in the ventricular tachycardia, we have a Q wave. So these are the differences between the supraventricular tachycardia and V.Tach in left bundle branch block. Now we discuss the differences in supraventricular tachycardia and V.Tach in right bundle branch block. As we know that in right bundle branch block, the QRS is more than 0.14 seconds and there is a positive concordance in the chest leads. Again, we will discuss the differences in the chest lead V1 and V6. In the right bundle branch block in supraventricular tachycardia, there is an SR pattern, and in V.Tach there is a QR or RS pattern in chest lead V1, of course. And in chest lead V6, in SVT, the RS is more than 1, and in ventricular tachycardia, RS is less than 1, and there is QS or RS pattern. Now, AVR features in the ventricular tachycardia. Three important features in AVR in ventricular tachycardia: an initial R wave in AVR, entirely positive QRS. Number 2, a Q wave of more than 40 milliseconds. And number 3, a notch on the descending limb of a negative QRS.